The Grand Galactic Council had not known silence in 11,000 years. 700 delegates from across the known galaxy filled the crystalline amphitheater of Station Orion Prime. Beings of gas, light, silicon, and flesh occupied their respective chambers, each species separated by atmospheric barriers, each voice translated through quantum processors in real time. But today, every voice had died. At the center of the chamber stood a single human. He was not tall by galactic standards. He wore no ceremonial robes, carried no ceremonial weapon. His name was Colonel James Mac McAllister, United States Space Force, retired. He had a gray beard, tired eyes, and a coffee thermos he hadn't put down since the shuttle docked. He had been summoned here to answer for humanity's crimes. High Arbiter Voskaline, a towering crystalline being from the Praxian sovereignty, rose from the central dais. Its voice resonated like a cathedral organ. James McAllister of Earth, you stand before this council representing a species that has committed an act of war against the dominion of Vreth. The Vreth filed formal grievance 47 rotations ago. 17 of their warships were destroyed. 312 soldiers were killed. Voskaline paused for effect. Do you deny this? Mac took a slow sip of his coffee. No, he said simply. The chamber erupted. Delegates shrieked, clicked, hummed, and howled in their native tongues. The translation processors worked overtime. Unprovoked aggression. Humanity must be sanctioned. The primitives have gone feral. Ambassador Dreth of the Vreth Dominion stood, a massive, 8-limbed creature armored in black chitin. Its compound eyes gleamed with satisfaction. You see? They admit it freely. These savages understand only violence. We demand the Council dissolve humanity's provisional membership and authorize a corrective fleet. You're welcome to try, Mac said, not raising his voice. Dreth stopped. Mac finally set his coffee thermos on the railing in front of him. He reached into his jacket and produced a data chip, sliding it into the chamber's central display console. Before you vote, he said, you might want to watch this. The holographic display above the chamber flickered to life. The footage was raw, unedited, time-stamped. It showed a human colony, New Providence, on the frontier moon of Kepler 7c. Population, 42,000. Families, farmers, children playing in red dust fields under a pale amber sun. Then the Vreth ships appeared. The Council watched in growing stillness as Vreth soldiers descended on the colony. Not soldiers on a military target, soldiers on civilians. The footage showed structures burned, people herded, children separated from parents. The clinical, organized horror of a species that had done this before and considered it routine. Then the footage cut. 12 minutes of darkness. Then the USSF carrier USS Defiance dropped out of warp. What followed lasted 4 minutes. When it was over, 17 Vreth warships were debris. The colony still stood. Every single colonist was alive. Mac let the silence stretch. We didn't start it, he said quietly. We finished it. The Council could only stare. High Arbiter Voskaline's crystalline form had gone completely still, a sign, those who knew Praxians understood, of profound cognitive dissonance. Ambassador Dretha's mandibles clicked rapidly, a Vreth nervous habit. It was old Counselor Renotha of the Polhari Accord, a species so ancient they had witnessed the formation of younger stars, who finally spoke. Her voice was barely a whisper through the translation feed. The Vreth filed their grievance first. They controlled the narrative for 47 rotations. We nearly voted without seeing this. Yes, Max said. You did. How many other grievances have been filed against humanity that we processed without? 17, Max said. In the last 6 years. Every single one filed by a species that hit us first and didn't like what came back. Another silence. Mac picked up his coffee thermos. Here's what I need this council to understand, he said, his voice calm and even. Earth is not asking for your protection. We're not asking for your permission. We're not a threat to anyone sitting in this room who hasn't already chosen to be our enemy. He looked directly at Dreth. But if you touch our people, our children, we will come. Every time. Without hesitation. Without apology. He turned toward the exit. You assaulted Earth, he said over his shoulder. We just made sure you remembered it. The corrective fleet motion against humanity failed. 693 votes to 7. Ambassador Dreth left the station without comment. In the corridor outside the chamber, a A young Polhari aide caught up to Mac, breathless. "Colonel, aren't you afraid of what they might do next?" Mac glanced back at the chamber doors. "Son," he said, "they should be studying that footage more carefully." He took a long sip of coffee. "We held back.